We look at what the tabloids are saying in relation to Arsenal people. Arsenal beat Man City. What's the timestamp? Let's call that 48. Now, transfer news just won't go away, people. Let's just look at everything that's been said. In fact, first things first, former Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger has been speaking. He said, let's not miss this opportunity. I mean, we didn't win the league where Leicester did. That was the last time I kind of put my heart in a title challenge. Tell a lie. When Birmingham were acting like thugs and injured Eduardo. Winter World Cup has screwed us over. How? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but how? Really? Yeah, well, Gabby Jesus got the mad injury, but how? If anything, we've done all right. We've got out of there. And we had, we were dealt quite a decent hand with that. And at the same time, bro, we knew the Winter World Cup was going to be a thing for a couple of years now. Maybe we should or shouldn't have done certain things in the summer. So we've only got ourselves to blame. But Arsene Wenger said, let's not miss this opportunity. Arsene Wenger warns his old club Arsenal they will not get a better shot at the title in future seasons. Same because, you'd imagine Man United, Chelsea, while we're building something great, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, they're all in transitions at different varying rates. They're all going to hit back. You'd imagine City are going to buy some blockbuster players. Specifically, what has the father said, man? You win it, then you can win it, and you don't care too much about the rest. You take the title and let the rest talk about it. I agree the conditions next season won't be as favorable as they are now. Exactly. So let's not miss this opportunity. Arsenal has 51 points after 21 games, which is remarkable. I feel the usual threats are all out of the race. The only threat is City, and even City is now not as dominant as they were last year or 2 years before. And I feel since the start of the season, City is more vulnerable defensively than ever before. You're not alone, Arsene Wenger, really. I think a lot of us believe that. He then spoke about why he hasn't returned to the Emirates. I wanted to take my family there, and I think it's the end of a chapter. I was happy to see the players in the dressing room after. It was mixed feelings. I sweat to make this stadium for 10 to 12 years, every penny. It was a good feeling to see where it is now with the crowd happy. The team is doing well. Part of your life is over forever, so a bit mixed feelings. I felt at the start it would take a good distance and not sit there straight away and be a wait for a guy who was there. Today is all different, and I thought it was the right moment. The timing was a fraction late, but it was good around Christmas as well, so it was nice. I like what I saw. I like what I felt in the dressing room. I feel the team spirit, great humility and hunger of young players is absolutely amazing. They are humble and hungry, and it's testament to you, Arsene Wenger. So we appreciate you for that, people. Arsenal are keen on agreeing a new deal for William Saliba. I don't think that is anything new, according to a report out of Spain talking on a young French player in England. I'm not too sure, people. Whatever that means, people. The report claims the parties have now met to lay the foundations of a new deal, and the indications are there that the player will sign an extension until the summer of 2027. Saliba has been a key player for Arsenal since returning from loan. We've all known that, so there's nothing really new in that regards. This was 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what this means. Forget all of that, man. Ain't no one reading that by Ben Jacobs unless you got some information. Saka close to agreeing bumper Arsenal new deal after new talks. Arsenal are confident over securing a full agreement with Bukayo Saka over a new contract as soon as the club continue to try and keep hold of their best players. Anything new here? Saka's contract is a priority, and there's growing confidence of a breakthrough soon in talks following recent discussions. As you know, his contract expires in 2024, people, and teams are looking at it. So hopefully we get him signed along as well as Saliba to go with Martinelli. Not too sure you lot believe this, but once again, people, Arsenal reignite interest in Inter Milan forward Lautaro Martinez. I like him a lot, but needs to really, got a lovely mentality, lovely technical level, but it seems like he only really thrives as a support act. And really, when his best form kind of played when he was in a 2 with Lukaku, so I'm not too sure. But Arsenal have reportedly identified Inter Milan forward Lautaro Martinez as a potential summer transfer target, allegedly, which I'm sure not really the profile I'd like, but I'm sure many fans, in addition to Gabby Jesus and obviously Eddie Nketiah with one eye on Balogun, would be open to new reinforcements. And we did lack goals, and we don't really have a bench that's going to do things. He's got 13 goals in 5 appearances from 13 goals and 5 assists, from 28 appearances in the Serie A and Champions League. Apparently, the North Londoners are said to have held a long-term admiration for the Argentina international, despite the striker not always showcasing his best contracted until 2026. Inter may be prepared to cash in on his signature should they receive an offer in excess of 70 million. Allegedly, Arsenal are said to have made contact with Martinez's reps ahead of potentially making a formal bid during the summer. We've been linked with Victor Roog. Apparently, there's an interview on Arsenal Buzz with a super agent. Is there anything of significance? Victor Roog is a player that has great physique. Even though he's not tall, he's really fast, has good decision making, and he also knows how to finalize opportunities. Even if he's really young, he already plays as a starter in Atletico Paranaense's team, which the last year made the final in the Copa Libertadores and is doing really well in a cup, and they won it on Sunday. He has the qualities to play in every championship. He's linked with Barca. Even if he's young, he plays like an experienced player. He's ready for big clubs. When asked on who he compares him to, I don't like to compare players. He has a strong character, more like a South American player that has so much determination. It's like an Argentinian player for his personality, but has the foot and technique of a Brazilian. He's really fast, strong physically, and plays every ball as if it's his last, a bit like Gabby Jesus. Do you think Victor can be a good player for Arsenal? Arsenal sporting director is Edu Gaspar, who is also in the past the Corinthians sporting director where I knew him. He's really kind, respectful, clever, and has so much competence, like a few in the world of football. He's a lord, I'm happy that he has returned to Arsenal as a member of the board, also because he's a product of Corinthians. Obviously, he pays so much attention to Brazilian players, but from what I know, Victor is really keen on Barcelona. So there you have it there, people. This has said Arsenal now willing to do whatever it takes to sign 52 million Chelsea target Victor Rogue. Arsenal want to sign Victor Rogue and are willing to do whatever it takes to sign him, people. Allegedly, he's got, he's done well at the under-20 South American Championship. He's done well in his early emergence in the first team currently. Despite being 17, he's got 7 goals in 36 and also has 3 assists, people. He can play out wide as well as a forward. And he's been heralded as the new Ronaldo and the next exciting talent to go with Endrick. He turns 18 later this month, so he could move in the summer. I mean, bring him if he's got all these qualities, but it doesn't seem like there's much credibility. Allegedly, journalist claims Arsenal in pole position for signing player. Player wants Premier League move amid interest from Euro giants. Arsenal looked at Martin Zubiamendi in January after Mikel Arteta urged the leaders of the Premier League side to sign the Real Sociedad star. Reports coming out of Spain had stated that the midfielder wasn't keen to leave the La Liga side in January, but may change his stance in the summer. On January the 27th, Sport explained the 24-year-old has decided to bet on Arsenal if they activate his 60 million euro release clause after this season. Apart from the Gunners, Barcelona have also been credited with an interest in the player, as Xavi is an admirer. So yeah, it is what it is, really. And allegedly, Serrano said, I don't think so. Xavi needs another player instead of Busquets. The number 1 pick is Martin Zubimendi from Sociedad, but it's also difficult because Zubimendi wants to play in the Premier League, and for me, Arsenal in pole position. I mean, we're not the only team in the Premier League, whether it's him, Declan Rice, Moses Caicedo, Ruben Neves, they're all going to be linked with a host of clubs, people. So we'll have to see how that develops. Arsenal reportedly leading the race for transfer of Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi, despite him also being tracked by Barcelona. That's according to this journalist, Serrano. I think this echoes the same thing. Isn't Busquets about to get a new deal? So who knows? But from what I see of Zubimendi, very much a cultured number 6, quite good in the air despite not appearing on TV to be the tallest. Very good in terms of progressive passes. Obviously, fellow Spaniard like Mikel Arteta. I think it makes sense. I'd actually, for me, Declan Rice and Caicedo, they're going to cost a lot more money. It's a bit more exciting knowing that transfer records are gonna get broken. But I've said it in January. I'd prefer him, really, just pay his fees and get it done, really. Arsenal does not forget Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal's main summer objective is to strengthen the midfield to offer Mikel Arteta as many variants as possible. The coach wants to boost his rotation in that area, taking into account that there are several players who are not at the level that the club wants to reach and that Partey suffers many injuries. As you know, we tried to sign Caicedo. It did not bang. We have an interest in Declan Rice, people. And once again, they're talking about the interest we have in Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal feel that Martin Zubimendi is the ideal midfielder for what they're looking for. A young profile that has shown a natural fit within the position game to the point of being able to offer him more variance than even Partey himself when it comes to organising the team. He could be our Rodri. I'd pay the 50 odd million pounds release clause if I'm honest with you. We all know PGMOL has said sorry, people, for the 2 dire Arsenal decisions. We've been done dirty in several games. Penalty for Jesus against Southampton, shirt pulling by Dan Burn at Newcastle at home. Man United, Martinelli's goal being disallowed, and obviously Brentford. Now, in these games, we haven't done well enough to win these games, isolated from these incidences. But I would like consistency for every club. Definitely where it would have benefited us, where we might have picked up some more points. Company's not surprised to see Arsenal challenging well under Mikel Arteta. Don't really care what he has to say. Don't really believe the Balde links to Arsenal. Apparently, yesterday he said, I want to stay at Barcelona. I've been here since 7. Now he says he loves the Premier League, which you can say that. Let's see. And we've got to remember he's in contract talks, been linked with us, Manchester United and Newcastle United. He said, well, nowadays, many teams, you watch Bayern and they have fullbacks that go up like crazy. In the Premier League, if you watch matches, all the fullbacks go up. Nowadays, I think there are many teams that play with a style where fullbacks go up a lot. That's what I like. I like it a lot. Okay, we don't think he said anything about the Premier League. That article's acting. Arsenal's transfer priority changes to leave Star worried about summer fate after Chelsea interest. What's been said here? This is in relation to Caicedo, people. Allegedly, he's no longer top of the list. It's Declan Rice was nothing for us, really. Apparently, the report claims Arsenal in particular may have other priorities in the summer by then. We should be able to react. By all God's grace, go after Zubiamendi, Moses Caicedo, Declan Rice, 2 of the 3, all 3. But if you get 1 or none, as seen with João Felix and Mudryk, you need to be able to adapt, really. Caicedo, you will get a move. You've got interest from Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea. You will get a move. And if you don't, you're going to get a move elsewhere. And if you stay at Brighton and do what you're doing, your contract's running down. I'm sure he doesn't want that to be the case because he's getting peanuts in comparison to other players, people. According to our source, though, Caicedo could remain of interest to Arsenal and Chelsea, as well as another suitor in the shape of Liverpool. And they'll just have to keep performing, really and truly, if that means anything. Moses Caicedo worried about summer switch to Chelsea. Moses Caicedo is worried about a summer move to one of the big English clubs like Chelsea after a failed January move to Arsenal. Okay. As we know, he done the social media antics. We all know, he was immediately attracted to joining Chelsea. The move was difficult. They had offers rejected. Arsenal had 2 offers rejected. Brighton stood firm and asked Caicedo to stay away from training while the transfer window was going. Now he needs to keep it going again. Apparently, Caicedo remains worried that a move to Stamford Bridge might not materialize. The feeling is that these clubs have switched their targets or acquired alternatives. I mean, the club should have alternatives. I think they will circle back for you, but they've got other priorities, and who knows, there might be other priorities in other positions, really. You've got new agents. You'll get your move. Just calm down and do your job, man. Once again, worried people. His dream move to Arsenal is over after whispers he's heard. I mean, there's bare whispers in the transfer market and in football. Caicedo is worried a move to Chelsea in the summer is unlikely after a January move to Arsenal fell through. I mean, I think this is the end of Arsenal's story, people. But yeah, man. Sources have told Football Insider that Caicedo and his reps are worried a summer move to Arsenal or another one of his suitors may be more difficult than a winter window switch. The midfielder's agent is aware of the volume of top-rated midfielders that will be available in the summer window, and there are whispers that Caicedo could drop down the agenda for several clubs. The likes of Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham are top of the target list for multiple elite clubs. Caicedo is still on the Blues' radar ahead of the summer, despite the 106 million capture of Enzo Fernandez. Just keep doing what you're doing. He's contracted until 2025. They're going to have to make a decision sooner or later on you. Apparently, the Atletico president gives Arsenal hope as Edu opens 40 million Victor Rug talks. Specifically, what have you said? There's a race for Victor Rug. Now, we got to remember, he just wants to sell to the highest bidder. We can't afford to pay what the Europeans pay. We've already received calls and offers, but they didn't reach our number. The sale is still a long way off, people. So I have to see. Scolari, the former Brazil gaffer, said Victor will probably be sold. He's 17 and has learned a lot on the pitch, but he's playing in the Campeonato Brasileiro and I can't say that, and the Copa Libertadores since he was 16. Done a video on him. Check it out, people. When a few months ago, he's a 17-year-old boy with the brain and experience of a 24 to 25-year-old. He's ready. When a club comes up with enough money, I think we'll sell. He's got 36 appearances, people, to his name. He turns 18 later this month, and there's Arsenal, Newcastle, PSG, Chelsea, Barcelona, the front runners all in for him. Allegedly, people. What's all of this? Apparently, this is in relation to Balogun. Balogun has increased his value at the Emirates, as you'd expect. He's been doing well on loan, and he's 20 years of age. You don't necessarily know he's going to get opportunities or not with Jesus and Nketiah there. It makes sense. Marseille, AC Milan, Villarreal have all been credited with an interest. Specifically, Dean Jones has said, yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's scope there. I think one thing for Arsenal, it certainly increased his value and increased interest in the player. So I think everyone's a winner here. Yeah, either he progresses at Arsenal, he's sold on, and we keep it moving, people, really. So I'm all for that. What's been said here, people? William Saliba closing in on a contract extension with Arsenal, as we've seen already. Gunners won't spend more than 100 million on Declan Rice, as even 100 million shouldn't really be there. Reece Nelson has interest from 2 unnamed Premier League clubs. A report yesterday, check that video out, people, and check out, well, when this is cut up on the replay, I'm sure you lot on YouTube will see the banners popping up, so make sure you're hitting that, and so you can go over that. West Ham have been credited with an interest. I'd give Reece Nelson a new deal if he's not going to make it here, because I just think we're letting money go through the door, really. Arsenal haven't made the decision on Balogun yet, allegedly. Arsenal face competition from Newcastle for Milinkovic-Savic. We're among the clubs still monitoring Edson Alvarez of Ajax. Again, we're keeping tabs on Victor Roeg. AC Milan are looking at Balogun. Musa Diaby allegedly could be for sale by Bayern Leverkusen. We've inquired about Ansu Fati. Barcelona have joined the race with Dortmund and Arsenal for Ivan Fresnedal from Real Valladolid. We're looking at signing Locatelli in the summer. We're the favourites to sign Sergi Milinkovic-Savic. I've seen the words favourites next to Milinkovic-Savic, Mitoma, and Telemans, just like João Felix and Mudryk. Until people are holding shirts and scarves, anything is up for debate. Smash the like button. Allegedly, we're keeping tabs on Vlahovic. Once again, favourites for Mitoma. We're targeting Sociedad, Giro, Breis, Mendes, and obviously Zubiamendi. We've joined the race for Ansu Fati. Once again, overwhelming favourites for Yuri Telemans, people. So I don't know what you lot believe, but that's what the reports are saying. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Let me know your thoughts on such, folks. And don't forget to smash the like button and check out the rest of the news, views, and gossip videos. Should we spin the block and see what else has come out? Why hasn't Mikel Arteta's press conference come out yet, man? Hey. Lee Mason. Hasn't that happened already? Apparently, Lee Mason will not be on VAR duty this weekend after his error in the Gunners Premier League clash with Brentford last Sunday. Okay. And then what's going to happen? What's going to happen the next day when he's eventually brought back? Because again, you hear he didn't draw the lines. If he didn't draw the lines or listen to what VAR asked of him, then whatever practices you're teaching these referees for when things occur, he's not listening to the competencies or the code of conduct or the training. So go put him on a training course. If I do something, there's sanctions. If you lot mess up at your jobs, you're either put on disciplinary meetings or codes of conduct, or you might lose your job. So I don't know, man. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear no sorries. It is what it is, man. We just have to move forward. But it is a mockery. I'm tired of PGMOL apologizing after blatant mistakes that the refs that run